going to get into a very depressing situation, corruption in the Department of Justice. And this is going to affect every American. So earlier this week, FBI Chief Christopher Wray gave an interview to Fox News. And then Attorney General Merrick Garland testified in front of the Senate Judiciary Committee. Both of those things are the subject of this evening's Talking Points memo. We begin with a federal statute. Title 18, Section 1507 of the U.S. Code. It was enacted in 1950. It says, quote, "Under this law, it is illegal to picket or parade in front of a courthouse or a judge's home with intent of interfering with, obstructing, or impeding the administration of justice, or with the intent of influencing any judge," unquote. Well, that is exactly what happened on May 7, 2022, in front of Justice Kavanaugh's home and Chief Justice Roberts' home. So we're going to roll some tape now. On the radio, I'll describe it to you. There's dozens of protesters, some with bullhorns, all right, and they are out in front of the House because of the abortion ruling. All right? And there's even sound on tape of this. Go.
We will not go back. I see you, buddy. We will not go back. We will not go back. We will not go back.
So the people who did that violated the law. But none of them were prosecuted. None of them. Why? So when you get to that point, and to put it into perspective, dozens, almost 40 pro-life protesters have been prosecuted by the Justice Department since Biden's been in office. And they did the same thing. Those protesters were in front of abortion clinics, and they were protesting, and there's a law, and they were prosecuted. But nobody prosecuted the Supreme Court thing. So the Attorney General of the United States, Merrick Garland, is in charge of that. And yesterday he testifies in front of the Senate Judiciary Committee. Go.
Has the Department of Justice enforced this statute? Have you brought a single case against any of these protesters threatening the justices under 18 U.S.C. Section 1507? Have you brought even one?
Senator, you asked me whether I sat on my hands, and quite the opposite. I sent 70 United States Marshals.
Let me try again.
To defend.
Has the Department of Justice brought even a single case under this statute? It's a yes/no question. It's not a give a speech on the other things you did.
The job of the United States Marshals is to defend the lives.
So the answer is no.
Is to defend the lives of the justices, and that's their number one priority. They have.
Why are you unwilling to say no? The answer is no. You know it's no. I know it's no. Everyone in this hearing room knows it's no. You're not willing to answer a question. Have you brought a case under this statute? Yes or no?
As far as I know, we haven't, and what we have done is defended the lives of the justices.
Okay, so Garland admits that he's not enforcing the law. Why isn't he enforcing the law? It's not hard to enforce the law when you have tape. You just saw the tape, and on the radio you heard the tape. Because the Biden administration doesn't want that. Because those protesters were demonstrating their anger over the abortion situation going back to the states. And the Biden administration didn't like that ruling. So they don't want anybody prosecuted. That's what happens in Venezuela or in Russia, in totalitarian regimes. That's what happens. So my confidence as an American citizen, not just a journalist, analyst, gone. Remember, Merrick Garland was almost a Supreme Court justice himself, but he was voted down. And I'm sitting there going, this man, Garland, he knows what the law is, simply will not enforce the law. Okay. Let's go to the Markout case. I have to confess that I was not familiar with this case until this week, and I should have been. He is 48 years old. He is an anti-abortion activist who was accused of assaulting a 72-year-old clinic volunteer, an abortion volunteer, named Bruce Love, outside a Planned Parenthood clinic in Philadelphia. He was arrested. He was charged. The incident took place on October 13, 2021. He was charged with 2 counts of violating the Freedom of Access to Clinic Entrances Act. Okay? Now, when he was arrested, his wife told news agencies that 25 federal agents with guns drawn in about 15 vehicles pounded on their front door and threatened to break it down. Okay? So it was a massive raid, even though Houck and his attorney said they would have turned themselves in. I mean, Mark Houck would have turned himself in, didn't need the raid. There are pictures of the raid. So this is the FBI. And Christopher Wray was in charge of this raid. His boss is Merrick Garland, the Attorney General. Wray doesn't just do stuff on his own. He's got to go up the chain of command because the FBI works for the Department of Justice. Okay? All right. So the kicker is, and this is incredible, that Mark Houck was found not guilty by a jury. He was acquitted of any law breaking. Yet his family was terrorized, he was prosecuted, and that was another subject of inquisition yesterday for Merrick Garland. Senator Josh Hawley is the questioner. Go.
Let's talk about the Markout case, for example. You've been asked about this already today, and frankly, your answers really astound me. This is a case where a Catholic pro-life demonstrator, father, was accused of disorderly conduct in front of an abortion center. The local prosecutor, the Philadelphia district attorney, who is a Democrat, a liberal, very progressive, declined to prosecute. There was a private suit that got dismissed. And then after all of that, your Justice Department sent between 20 and 30 armed agents in the early morning hours to the Houck's private residence to arrest this guy after he had offered to turn himself in voluntarily. Here's the photo. Once again, you can see the long guns, you can see the ballistic shields, you can see that they're wearing bulletproof vests. Why did the Justice Department do this? Why did you send 20 to 30 SWAT-style agents and a SWAT-style team to this guy's house when everybody else had declined to prosecute and he'd offered to turn himself in?
Determinations of how to make arrests under arrest warrants are made based by the tactical operators in the district. They are not.
But you surely looked into it by this point, right? You know the answer, surely.
All I know is what the FBI has said, which is that they made decisions on the ground as to what was safest and easiest. So they do not agree with your description of what happened on the scene.
You don't agree with my description. I'm pointing out what the photo is.
Okay, so is there anybody that you can think of in recent memory who's come across more weaselly, weasel is a word, than Merrick Garland? Anyone, any public servant. I mean, Buttigieg comes to mind, but that's the Attorney General of the United States? He clearly knows what happened in the Supreme Court justice situation, and he knows what happened in the Houck case. So what do? There's nothing that we can do. Nothing. As honest American citizens, we have to endure this because Joe Biden was elected president. An honest president would fire Christopher Wray like that. And remember, Trump appointed him. Okay? And Garland would have never been appointed to the position of Attorney General. He's weak. He's corrupt. He's not looking out for justice, equal justice for all. No. So when it gets to that point, I'm somebody who loves my country. And I just go, I know we have to endure 2 more years of Joe Biden, who is absolutely the second worst president in the history of this republic next to James Buchanan. I know there's nothing we can do but to endure that. But if this man is reelected, and I don't think he's going to run, but I could be wrong about that. But if he's given 4 more years, you can kiss this country goodbye. Because he'll bankrupt it, number one, with all the irresponsible spending. And all of these departments, Buttigieg Transportation, Garland Justice, they're so corrupt. It's just, you see it. This is a society where we have hearings in the Senate, okay? You can see it and hear it. But here's the most depressing part of it all. 40%, 45% of Americans don't care if their country's corrupt. And that's a memo. The chairman of the Fed is promising more pain ahead. Last year, stocks dropped a whopping 20%. 2023 could be worse. You are right to be worried. So call the only precious metal dealer I trust, American Hartford Gold. They will show you how to protect your savings and retirement accounts by diversifying your portfolio with physical gold and silver. Since I've been a client and spokesperson, the price of gold has appreciated more than 35%. So please call today and they'll have physical gold and silver delivered right to your door or put inside your IRA or 401k. They have thousands of satisfied customers and have the highest rating in the country with an A+ rating from the Better Business Bureau. Please tell them Bill O'Reilly sent you, and they will give you up to $5,000 of free silver on your first order. Please call 866-501-5201. That's 866-501-5201, or text BILL to 65532. Again, that's 866-501-5201, or text BILL to 65532. Okay, let's go to something a little lighter, but something that everybody can identify with. So there is a journal called Evolution and Human Behavior. I'm sorry, I don't have a subscription, but I like human behavior. I mean, I'm a human, so I like to know what's going on. In this journal, it says, and this is a survey of 93,000 human beings from 93 countries, all right, all over the world. I've been to 86 countries, so there's more countries than even I've been to. It says that women average nearly 4 hours a day enhancing their appearance, grooming, and men 3.6 hours per day. Now, I find that very hard to believe that men, the average male, is spending 3.5 hours a day grooming. But it's important that you look good. And in America, it can mean a lot more money. And I'm not going to say happiness, because if people are going to evaluate you on just your looks, that's pretty shallow. But in the marketplace, the better you look, the more jobs you will be offered. And that's just a fact. Okay? So I impose a discipline on myself, a personal discipline. Shave every day. I'm not the stubble kind of guy. I don't object to the stubble kind of guys. Some women find the stubble attractive, but I'm more of a Marine kind of guy. I like to, and plus my beard now, if I had a stubble, would be gray. It wouldn't do me any good. And so I discipline myself. We're going to shower every day, all right, and a good shower, not just a quick, good, all the nooks and crannies. And we're going to use a expensive soap. Soap is a good soap. Spend some money on the soap. And we're going to shampoo pretty much every day, not quite every day. I used to have a real thick mane of hair, if you have ever seen me in my younger days. But, you know, I'm blaming my ancestors, my grandfather on my mother's side, you know. But now I still got a little bit. Keep it clean, keep it cut, okay? Complexion, very important. So moisturizer, I'm slapping that on there. I'm doing it because I have to be in front of the camera every day. I got a little bit of makeup on, but come on. I mean, you've seen people go downhill physically. I don't want to do that. All right, in the coffin, I want to look pretty good, if I can. Grooming is a key to that. Now, the urchins, they don't, my daughter, big groomer. I mean, no problem with her. Not spending 4 hours, but she wants to look good. And my son, and he's a handsome guy, but, you know, sometimes I got to go, hey, you need to clean up now. Because in the first impression, when you meet people, they see you. And if you are attractive, clean, that matters. And you know it yourself. If you see some guy, not so many women, but some, and that just really, you know, you want to be away from them. Okay? You're not hugging them. So it's important, but 4 hours is too much. I had some person ask me if I ever got a mani-pedi. You know what that is? A manicure, pedicure. Not in a million years would I do that. I'll handle the mani and the pedi. I don't need to pay somebody $40 to do that. I know you get a little foot rub, okay, fine. But no, not getting that, not doing any of that Botox stuff. And probably I should, right? Right here, but I'm not doing it. So I'm going out the way I came in a natural state. But I do believe in grooming. I do believe that, you know, you should spend some time and teach your children or grandchildren. It is important. It's shallow, I know. But this is a competitive society. You need every advantage. Protecting your online privacy has never been more important. And StartMail is the perfect solution to ensure your personal data remains secure. Founded in 2013, StartMail has been on a mission to provide privacy-first email services that protect its customers from advertisers, government surveillance, and spam. StartMail also makes it easy to generate unlimited disposable email addresses to protect your inbox from spam and phishing attempts. It even has a migration tool that allows you to move your emails and contacts from Gmail, Outlook, Yahoo, and other providers with just a few clicks. Best of all, sign up today and save 50% on your first subscription year. So please join the thousands of people who have chosen StartMail. Go to startmail.com/Bill to take advantage of this limited time offer. Protect your online privacy and enjoy ad-free email communication without surveillance. StartMail with a T.com/Bill, 50% off. Okay, final thought of the day. So I'm going to Ireland in June. I'm going to Donegal. It's the only county I haven't been to in the entire country. I'm taking, actually, it's a father-son trip. All right, so a whole bunch of people, my friends coming with me with their urchins, older, and I'm taking them to Belfast after Donegal, where I covered the Troubles. Okay, I'm taking them exactly to the places I was. So it's going to be really an interesting historical trip. Donegal is beautiful. Can't wait to go. I booked that trip a year ago. If I had booked it now, I couldn't get in to any of the good hotels. All the flights, most of the flights, I should say, are booked. I couldn't go. So what I'm trying to tell you is this. Wherever you want to go this summer, you got to book it before March 15th. You have to book it. Now, you could go to Ireland, stay in bed and breakfast, and that's great, by the way. It's a great experience. To meet the folks, it's very economical. You'll love it. The bed and breakfasts aren't all booked, but the hotels mostly are. And in America, if you want to go somewhere, you got to get those reservations. And always remember, you got to know the cancellation policy. And if you're going abroad, you should buy trip insurance, particularly on a cruise, right? But you got to get it done, because this summer is going to be a wild travel summer. Even though of inflation, the economy's wobbly, people want to cut loose. They want to go. I was in Florida last weekend. I saw it. I told you about it. Okay, people buying $20 drinks, spending $1,500 a night on a hotel room. I mean, I'm sitting there going, whoa. And it's going to be very intense this summer. So I hope a good travel agent, and they're hard to get. Boy, they're hard to get. My staff is really good, and so I farm some of that out to them. But you want to get everything under control by the Ides of March, the 15th, particularly if you're going abroad, okay? Or places like the national parks. National park hotels around the Tetons and Yellowstone and Glacier and Yosemite, fabulous places, by the way, all of them, fabulous. Those hotels, they book, all right? So get in there, because I want you to have a good time. We all need a break. We all need to get away this summer for a little while. And that is the final thought of the day. Thank you for watching the No Spin News. To watch the full episode anytime on BillO'Reilly.com, please sign up to become a premium or concierge member. Visit BillO'Reilly.com to sign up and start watching today.